Well, when I think of my spiritual journey, it starts when I was a kid. I remember in third grade, my family started attending this one small Pentecostal church in Spokane, Washington, and we continued to go to that same church all the way through past my high school years. And so this theme of consistency and commitment and stability seems to be a theme that runs not just through my childhood, but I'd say it's even kind of been reflective of these last 10 years in my life. And my wife and I have been married for 10 years. We've lived in the same place for 9 years now. We've attended the same church for the last 10 years. And so, and we desire that. We long for that. We even see ourselves living in the same place for as far out as we can imagine. But a theme of stability, I think, is a part of my kind of spiritual autobiography. And then I'd also say there's a few other things that come to mind. One, I remember my mom would always read a chapter of scripture before we got on the bus, before we left the house to get on the bus as we were kids, all the way through elementary, junior high. And so I think, again, kind of this consistency of time spent in the Word, of seeing the value of that being an important part of the day, of kind of orienting your life. And again, that's kind of stuck with me now through my 20s and into my early 30s. And then I'd say, actually, in looking back and kind of reflecting on just these last maybe 5-6 years or so, I think there's been this kind of Shane Claiborne uses he has this experience where Shane Claiborne says he's a born again believer. And I'd say that's kind of happened to me over the last, again, 5 or 6 years, feeling that I'm not just a born again believer, but again, that there's this recognition of what I have not necessarily been saved from as much as what I've been saved for, to live into being faithfully present, of seeking the shalom, the peace of the place in which I live. And so seeing God as more missional and kind of entering into that has really kind of been shaping a lot more of my spiritual life these last few years. And so because of that, I think it's really informed what I'm sensing my call is in this season of life. And I've distilled it down to this, and it's still unrefined, but and kind of answering the CIQ here, I think the call in my season of life right now is to encourage and to equip other Jesus followers to live faithfully present in their particular place, in their particular neighborhood, and seek the shalom of that place, live with God's vision for that place, and bring it to fruition, to reality. And so that's a little bit of my journey, a little bit of where I'm wrestling with my call, and really excited to hear from the rest of my classmates here.